So this is, let me get my notes. I don't have it memorized. This role is the care coordinator. The care coordinator is aware of physical and spiritual needs of our community group. People that need assistance. Maybe somebody has just lost their wife and needs meals, okay? Or is struggling, lost their job, or struggling with stuff. The care coordinator kind of works with them, works with the facilitators to make sure that they're being cared for. Now, we also have care coordinators for the whole church. Elise and Caroline Coney are our care team, and so that care coordinator will work with them as a whole church. Because one of the things we're trying to do here at Chapel Hill is do better about communication as a whole. Okay? So there's a brief. Oh, here's a good one here. It's in my favorite color, hot pink. Joe is laughing. The children's role person. This person doesn't come to community group every time and take the kids away and do babysitting. It's not that. We are value in community groups. It's not, oh, the kid's running around, baby's crying, and it's hard for people to focus and to pray and to listen to stuff. It's not this chaotic mess. But it's also not this end of the spectrum where it's like we send all the kids off, hire a babysitter, they're off for their own, and maybe we might see them when we eat and do stuff, but they're not a part of what we're doing. No, it's a happy medium, okay? The kids are an important part of this group, okay? And so the children's person will work with kids, work with the teenagers, as I'm trying to already do with Ari and them. And Ari likes art, so that's why we bring this out, to do some art with some of the younger kids. Do some games. Lori and Karen have like different lessons. They could do a lesson or have somebody do a lesson with the kids, you know, so they don't just come and play, but they're part of our group. So would they take care of kids every now and then? Yeah, but I wouldn't want the kids coordinator to be constantly watching kids and never a part of the group. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it could be one or two people. We have a community group that has close to 30 kids, like under 5th grade and lower.
This one?
No, it's another one. Yeah, I was here helping, and I opened up the hole their first time, the hole in here, and made a gym, you know, so they could play. That group's going to need 2 or 3 people now with that. Okay, but we want the children to be part of our community, right? So this is an important role. Oh, shepherding role hat. This person touches base and checks in regularly with less active members. An email. Hey, how are you doing? Anything we can pray for you for? Because there are people we already know that said, I'm not going to community group. Okay, that's fine. But we as a church value community and value you. We will keep the lines open. You'll always have a seat at the table, you'll always be invited, but we're at least going to reach out to you and say, is there anything we can pray for you for? Do you need anything? Okay? And I'm a little more aggressive than I don't want anybody to get left behind until they come and say, don't call me anymore. You know, and hopefully nobody will do that. But that's what this person's role is. Okay? 3 more. Outreach leader. This person will work with, I think we have decided that Dakota Woodlands is our area of outreach. I'm still new to, what is that?
It's a women's shelter.
Women's shelter.
Okay.
It's for
And Feed My Starving Children's close to us too.
Yep. And that's always a good default.
Mm-hmm.
I love Feed My Starving Children, but I would rather be,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? A little more. And so Dakota Woodlands, what will we do there? Does anybody have an idea of how can we as a community group help Dakota Woodlands?
Not,
Anybody?
not sure.
They
I-
usually are, they're looking for clothes a lot of times. They're looking for bedding, those kinds of things a lot of times.
Okay, and
Because
that
they just
doesn't,
bring people in and they need to help them out and they try and give that kind of stuff
Okay.
to them.
this person would, so we have that doesn't mean we provide all of that, but we can maybe do a
Yep.
drive or help with
Yep.
that. It's us showing, that we value this ministry or this outreach or this, it's what Jesus would do, right? And so we're there and we're valuing that, and the outreach person would work with somebody there. And they would also work with our outreach team in sharing, hey, this is what North Community Group's been doing with Dakota Woodlands. They're just kind of sharing, so there's communication all the way across, right, with Chapel Hill.
So, question on the Dakota Woodlands, is
Yep.
this also what Caitlin, I don't know her last name. She.
Malsoff?
Yes, is that what she's been able to, I swear she's been doing that too. I'm not finding the text that came through today.
You look it up and ask, yeah.
But I think Caitlin Malsoff did the women.
Yeah, they did.
That, and
They-
she wants to keep that going through the women's group.
Okay, and that's great. The women's group is doing that, because we gotta remember, there's children's, there's youth, there's men's, there's women's, there's engage, and so there's all these different, groups. We just wanna make sure that, we know, the right hand knows what the left hand is doing.
Yeah.
So, sure, we could double up with that. Now, maybe whoever does the outreach can talk to Caitlin and say, hey, what are you doing? And maybe we do it with them. What the student ministry is trying to do is do more things with the Engage group. We went and did Feed My Starving Children one time. Hopefully want to do some sort of recreational thing. We're trying to cross, do stuff together with different groups. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Do I have the host?
Yeah.
A host isn't just one person. This is a role that multiple people can do. You might say, well, I don't know if I can have people at my house because it's very small, or I live in Oakdale, Canada. Just kidding. You don't have to. Hosting could be you have a park in your area and we're going to meet there, have our community group. Or we're going to do an event planner and meet here at Chapel Hill. Personally, I'm speaking just for Jamie now. I know you're recording this, but I'd like us to get away from using Chapel Hill. Everybody's using it. I know it's a good start and it's an easy thing, but eventually we want to get in homes and we want to get in the community. Does that make sense? So a host person could be 2 or 3 families. It could be a facilitator. It's not just, and what do? You have people over, okay? You invite them over. And we used to do a community group at a church plant that Joe and I were involved in. And one of the reasons people said, well, I got to clean my house. And I would say, well, I'll come over an hour early and help you clean. Because I value being here, and I value us doing that and being in other's homes, So a host like the teacher can be a bunch of different people.
Ooh, another.
Or it could rotate. It could be just, you're gonna, 3 or 4 people, every 3rd month, somebody takes it and coordinates a location and what we're gonna do.
Yep.
That could work.
And it's, the idea is to try to have these teaching time gatherings once a month, and then do some fun stuff. And I think the welcome wagon. This person can be combined with the care or shepherd, and all of these can work with the facilitators, but this person is the first contact. Somebody comes to Chapel Hill, they say they live on, give me an address in the north.
Chapel Court. We're in,
that-
that's where we live.
Okay, we just bought a house in Chapel Court, and we came to Chapel Hill. Okay, well, have you met Cheryl and Rob? Because they're your neighbors, and that's, North is your community group. And we share that, and what's really been cool, I don't know if you guys have been able to talk, but that's been happening on Sunday morning. People show up, and I've done it a couple of times, hey, come over here and show me on this map where you live. Oh, this is your community group, and then I'll try to look for their community group leader. Or I'll get a name to Karen, and Karen's great at that, at getting those out, because we don't want anybody to fall through the cracks, okay? We want community groups to be an integral part of Chapel Hill, okay? And so that's kind of a brief like rundown. So would you pray and think about like taking on or helping? Maybe you might say, man, I don't know if I want to be the leader, but this is something I would be willing to help with, you know, and something like that. That's kind of what we're hoping for.